This is a McLaren 600 LT. LT standing for long tail. The 600 LT is a stripped down, lightweight, track-focused version of the already fast 570S. It is also, in my opinion, one of the most underrated supercars of our time. But why do I say that? And what does it feel like? Well, let's find out. The 600 LT, and my first impressions are, well, very good. The noise from that engine and the hood exit exhaust pipes is just absolutely insane. Now, as a 6-foot-tall dude, I have a pretty decent amount of legroom and headroom, but once you get a little bit taller than me, it might start to get a little bit difficult. And I must mention, this car is really, really fast. I also must add, this is such an exciting experience. With the exhaust back there coming up through the hood, and just the sound and the immersion that you get, and it feels so raw. I mean, the suspension is stiff, so you feel everything. It's just great. I also must add that unlike other DCTs, the 600 LT gives you a little kick when it shifts, which adds to the experience. And with that said, let's get a little more in depth. Now let's talk about design. There's not much known about who designed the 600 LT, but Frank Stephenson designed the McLaren 570S, and this is supposed to be an evolution of that. Now in the front here, you have this huge front splitter here that has a bunch of ductwork, and it just looks absolutely crazy. It looks insane. Now as we move to the side, one of the first things you notice are these carbon fiber louvers that come out of the fender. So cool. Now as we move to the side of the door, you may notice this big side intake, and it's supposed to resemble a Kiwi bird of all things. And the reason for that is because Bruce McLaren, the founder of the company, was originally a New Zealander, and the national bird is the Kiwi bird, which is a species of flightless bird that can only be found naturally in New Zealand. And that design inspiration is found all throughout the car, including the headlights and even the McLaren logo. The McLaren 600 LT features a 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that makes 592 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque. And the further back you go, it gets even crazier. On the very bottom lies a huge carbon fiber rear diffuser, and above that is the hood exit exhaust pipes. As you can see, there's a wrap on the rear wing. It comes from the factory like that to shield the wing from the exhaust heat. And then to get in the McLaren 600 LT, you'll have to reach under here to find a hidden door button, press it, and it unlatches. And you have your beautiful butterfly doors. Now let's move into the interior. It is very simplistic and driver focused, and so much so that the steering wheel doesn't even have any buttons on it, just a clean design with some dry carbon fiber on it. Behind that, you will find your LCD gauge cluster. On the center stack, you will find some air vents, the infotainment screen, and all the buttons for it. Down on the center console, you will find your engine start and stop button, the switches for the suspension and powertrain settings, and you may also find the launch button, the active arrow button, and the auto start stop button, as well as your drive selectors and hazard lights. There is also the front button, the lock button, and the convertible hardtop button. So, what is my conclusion on the 600 LT? Well, it's a hidden gem. Not as many people talk about it over other cars. It is a driver-focused animal that provides an experience like no other. Thank you for watching.